Artemis on was my founder's catapult. Because that was the only thing that could break even running Artemis. Because the fucking rearm the thing was so much.
I kind
Oh, yeah.
of
Like, the thing is, and the reason I'm so, like, pissy with assaults right now, even though I run them so much, is because they should turn the tide of the battle. One Atlas should show up, and it should be like, oh, fuck, it's an Atlas, everybody run.
But now it's just, oh, it's another Atlas.
Exactly.
I like that too. I remember when I was the only assault in the match, so like you said, it's a turning point. It makes you proud to be the one in the assault. Now, oh, why didn't you build that on assault mech? What are you doing? It's like the medium class is dead.
And it's not even like it's like you're another piece of cover as well. You can just soak up so much fire, where now it's like, oh, 4 PVCs, GG, get out of here, Atlas. You're too slow to kill me. It's
I remember when it was safe to go 64 kph in a medium.
They're fucking baseline moron amateurish fucking pieces of dog shit.
You know what they should do? If you mount more than 2 PVCs, you can only walk at 10 kph. Done.
Here's the thing.
Or
I have the feeling
your
that they would probably actually do that.
And the only one that can do more than that is the Awesome, because cannon-wise, it can mount that.
Yeah.
Awesome is awesome.
Yeah, who here played Mechwarrior 3?
I played a little bit.
Did.
Yeah, do you remember what would happen if you try to put more than 3 PPCs on something and hit Alpha Strike?
Kabloom!
Yep.
Isn't the base...
I remember when I played that game single player, I had like an Annihilator, like in the last few missions, I put 4 PPCs on, and it was nothing else but heat sinks, and I had to still chain fire them.
Yeah.
That's because PGI cannot into balance.
Wait, was
Well, yeah, it was the same thing with the Mech 4 too. You know, you had fucking Nova Cats that was running 7 ER large. I mean, what would happen in Mech 3 if you try shooting 7 ER large off?
You'd explode. And what happened is, in Mech 4, okay, first off, whoever did it was a fucking idiot. But, I mean, okay, for example...
It's better than this.
In the intro, the guy's like, activate AMS, and all she does is bitch about something instead of flicking the switch, and so she dies by 1 missile. Like, seriously. Anyway, that aside, okay, and Mechwarrior 3, ACs also did burst fire instead of Mechwarrior 2's automatic machine gun thing. Which, you know, they're both valid, but still. The burst fire made them sound intimidating, they made them sound awesome. And not because they did excessive amounts of damage, but you had an AC-20 and it's like, pew, pew, pew! Instead of the, you know, poo, with no recoil. I mean, Mechwarrior 3, the fucking arm jerks back, and, you know, you see the recoil, there's action in there. And like you said earlier,
when
3
recoil
PPCs exploded you.
When recoil happens, they better add recoil to fucking PPCs. I mean, even though it shouldn't be there, it has to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
actually,
I think...
in canon lore, PPCs have recoil.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Interesting, I need to read back up on them. But, like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Alright.
That should have minimal recoil?
Yeah, you should never, the most you should see on any mech, and that should be only like the awesomest 3 PPCs, and I think what they need to do is like make almost kind of like a hard point system, more like Mech 4 had, where you had like small, medium, like large hard points, and like say, you know, instead of like just all like plain energy hard points, you should have small, medium, and large hard points. Or like small, you can only mount up to like a medium pulse, and medium you can mount a large laser, and you'd need a large hard point to mount a PPC.
I say make it so that it's
They have a
efficiency.
whole nother game that they're doing as well, and it's Mechwarrior Tactics, and that has a hardpoint system. Why the fuck won't they do it on their other game?
They got a hardpoint system here. It's just on that one, it doesn't matter if you have an AC-20 or an AC-2 on your right torso, the hunchback, you get one ballistic, that's it. So you could put a machine gun in there, one ballistic, that's it. That's hardly fair.
What I'm saying is make it so the hard points are either like small, medium, or large sized.
It has
so
a
that way you
size
can't
system.
do something like put 4 fucking PPCs on a cicada.
Yes, it does have a size system, but all it does is take up the slots. For example, you put a machine gun in the right torso, the hunchback, it takes up every single slot in there, and you can't do anything else.
Big machine gun.
So,
you
stupid. You can't even put in...
If they had a hard point system too, like certain weapons, like a machine gun. I mean, I wouldn't do it with medium lasers, but like a machine gun, say you have a large hard point, say like, okay, you could put 5 machine guns in a large hard point. Or it's like 6 or something. That's the only way right now to make them useful.
There's been discussions of that. They called them elevating hard points, and what it is okay, it would be considered either a large, medium, or small, and like, okay, if you have a large, you can do either 1 large or 2 mediums, or you can do 4 smalls. And basically, you just kind of upgraded. Where if you had a medium hard point, you could do 2 small.
Like, say you got an awesome with like 3 large hard points. You could have an awesome with like fucking, how many 14 small lasers running around?
A billion small pulse lasers.
Yeah, well, that's actually not that bad. Granted, that's instant death at close range, but how often do you have an awesome at close range?
You know what I'm saying, though.
I don't think I've seen an awesome at close range.
Exactly.
Well,
that's just an example, but it would give a purpose to the awesome. If you want to run PPCs and a lot of them, you'd have to buy an awesome.
Yeah.
Now the awesome is just like, it's an awesome. Yeah.
I'm not so big on that.
But that takes work. They'd rather pump out new fucking hero mechs that are worse than stuff you could buy with C-bills.
Or
that's
they can
generally
make the
true.
regular C-bills.
But, alright.
They could also make the
here's
hero
another
mech
idea.
the best variant hands down. Which is fucking ridiculous.
Here's another idea. Okay. Weapon variant limitations. Okay. A single shot AC-20 technically can only be carried by the King Crab. It's called a Devastator is the name of the variant.
Awesome.
There's also a Cauldron Born that has a UAC-20 that's also a single shot. But I mean, aside from those two, only mechs of similar shapes, which are basically very short, very wide, very long, and either saucer or phallus shaped. And basically these are like L or M targets that have no chance at all from above. I mean, have you ever seen a king crab? I mean, that fucker is a walking saucer.
It's a landing pad, bro.
Exactly. You just jump on it, it's dead. But these are the mechs that are supposed to carry those. And supposedly an Atlas carrying a Devastator AC-20 has to stand perfectly still, brace himself, and then have, well, according to this one book I read, basically he fired and he still fell over.
Why even brace yourself?
Yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, the gun is too damn powerful for the mechs, and it looks wimpy as shit on this game because there's no recoil. But, well...
Imagine what it would do to a fucking Jagger mech.
Oh, I know. I've described it a couple times in a video, actually. But,
rip its arms off and send it to the fucking moon.
I actually didn't picture that, but I did picture it flying about 30 feet and then dragging because of the way MWO physics are. I mean, I once got shot as an Atlas from the front and went flying forward.
Rubber band.
That too.
Rubber band back in place. Because this is MWO we're talking about.
All right, now here's another example. The highest caliber AC-20 that is safe to fire from an Atlas is the 185 millimeter chemjet gun, which is basically a slow 3-round burst.
Boom, boom, boom.
Then there's the Super Crusher heavy autocannon, which fires very rapidly. It basically pumps out 10 AC-2 rounds so fast that the recoil basically makes it not very effective beyond 270 meters because it just spreads upwards.
Taking out them drop shifts.
Yeah. But then there's one that fires like 6 shots. There's others that fire other things. And then there's variants of the variants that fire slower but never actually stop firing. Instead, they use a unit of time to count the damage. For example, okay, that 10-shot Crusher super heavy autocannon, there's another variant of it. Well, actually, there's listed 3 variants. But, okay, there's another version that could probably spread those 10 shots out and then just never stop firing. And hey, 14 tons to do what you would need, let's see, 24 tons to do with AC-2s. It's kind of hard to argue with it.
Unfortunately, in this game,
Yeah.
You know what I
Bigger
think
gun.
needs to happen? Replace all AC-20 rounds with incendiary AC-20 rounds.
I don't think that would help.
Except they do no damage. It's just a single flamer.
Well, if it goes anything
it's
like
like-
the flamers in this game, yeah, it's going to be completely worthless.
So it goes, flies, and hits the enemy, and they're like, oh shit, AC-20 round, and they're scrambling, and it hits them, and it's just like,
Speaking of flamers, what would you classify plasma as?
Superheated matter that should stick to a mech or like napalm.
yep.
See, that's what I read when I read the description of a flamer. And basically that implies kind of like slopping some goop on somebody that's flaming, and then it just stays on them and keeps burning. What do we get? We get a flamethrower. Why? Worse, we get a smokeless flamethrower, unless you start spraying the ground, and then you can create a smoke screen, and that's about the only real use you get out of the
I
damn thing.
wouldn't call it a smoke screen. Jump jets are a bit better at smoke screens.
Yeah, but they don't last. That's
Actually,
dark either.
you can pretty much compare plasma to what the sun is. Because that's what is the sun.
What are
Oh.
the
Yeah,
SRM
check
rounds
this
that are
video
like
out.
incendiary? Fucking.
Just check this video out. That's what flamers should be like.
Okay, that is not bad.
Pretty much he's shooting,
But,
he shoots and bursts and the flame sticks to that car.
Yeah,
That's
It's
what
not
fire does.
quite what I imagine. But yeah, that's essentially the same effect, even if that's just not really quite the same idea. But yeah, you know, you shoot and this fucking gunk sticks to you and burns and heats your mech up.
It should also fucking overheat you. I don't like how it keeps them like right at
Well,
the threshold.
That's the thing, it doesn't do shit to the threshold. I'll tell you right now, unless they have 10 standard heat sinks, it won't do jack shit.
I know.
These
which
mechs,
I think is
once they
bullshit.
elite and everything, have over 130 threshold. Want to know why you can do so many PPCs?
Because how fucking
Wow.
high the threshold is.
Yeah,
Hey, they actually nerfed flamers so they physically can't overheat someone.
yeah, that
They
too.
did.
They did that a while ago because back in closed beta, you could actually kill people with flamers. And you want to know how you
Which
did it?
is good.
Overheating them?
Overheating them.
How many flamers would it take?
It took me 4. I had standard heat sinks, and at the time there was a bug where if you pressed the trigger, you had 0 heat because you were literally draining your heat out. But they fucked it up because they let you keep firing, and when you let go, you suddenly spiked up to like 45 heat. But when you clicked it again, you went back to 0. Now, here's how a flamer should work, okay? You get really hot. You know, you fire your 6 PPCs. Oh my god, you're at 96% heat. Fire a flamer. 0. Of course, that's how they're supposed to work, but you can understand that's how it's going to get abused.
Yep.
I mean, you pack on 6 PPCs and then... and you're ready to go.
Think
Oh,
about how
PGA will
powerful
do
that
that. They'll just
flamer
make it a
would be, though.
module. Alright, I am
I
going to
remember.
bed now.
Alright.
Night.
Yep,
I'm going
night,
as well.
guys.
I need to cool off from this fucking
But,
PPC bullshit penis.
Yep,
I'm
you're
going up
on.
as well.
Oh my
You
god,
wanna
peanuts
try
on
World
legs.
of Tanks or World of Warplanes?
Where
Well,
they
we've
have
been playing
repair and
that a lot
rearm
too,
that
so-
helps
I'm
balance
waiting for
ton of
World.
stuff.
I'm waiting for
Because,
World
like, actual balance doesn't
of
work.
Warships.
I remember when PPCs had 3-second reload.
Actually, you know what? If Battlefield were anything like Star Citizen, you could actually have battles trying to take over a warship as it's trying to get to the beach. Hello.
That's one of the things Star Citizen is supposed to be able to do.
Yeah,
if you
but
get
you
a
wouldn't
big
be
enough
on a
force.
naval ship, sadly.
Yeah. But you'd be in a carrier in space.
Well, okay, this one comic demonstrating some of the ideas of what you could do shows you climbing into, or shows a guy using a ship to get close to, like, a bigger battleship thing, and he's at a hull breach that was made from
I
incoming
linked
fire.
that to you.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Personally, I'd
and,
like to see the look of the player's face that owns the ship when I get on the bridge and shoot the fucker.
Well, did you know one of the things they're allowing as items that you can put inside the ship, if you have enough room and the computers can handle it, of course, is turrets.
That'll
That
be
actually
fun.
makes some sense.
So you can put turrets inside as a dead man switch if you're getting boarded,
Mm-hmm.
and you take your hand off and they'll fire indiscriminately at everything inside.
Well,
Ooh.
guys, I'm going to sleep. So goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe.
Night Wolf.
Tomorrow / today.
It's the indiscriminately part that I think is kind of interesting.
Yep. Another one is pretty much the upgrade of that, where you can set ID tags to people, and it'll not fire at those ID tags.
That's
And one
cool.
interesting thing, if you do decide to board another ship, you have a high risk of getting shot in the head, which means you die forever.
Forever.
Yeah, and then you got your next of kin.
Yeah, then you got your next of kin. Another cool thing that you can do is, Chris Roberts stated there's like, if you get blown up and you go to hospital and your arm's been blown off, you'll get a cybernetic replacement. But you can also find black markets on alien planets that can regrow your limbs organically.
See, that was another thing. I'd actually read references to being human and non-human things, and I'm really, really interested in the non-human aspect.
Yeah. Just how mechanical can you get before you finally die?
There's that too.
General Grievous.
I was actually thinking more on the aliens.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking cybernetic, like,
Yeah, I
if
know.
you want to conceal something in your robot arm, could you theoretically put, like, a blade to shoot out of it, or a blaster to come out of your hand or something? Because that would be badass.
Double barrel shotgun, a la Ghost in the Shell.
Yes.
That fires coins, just because.
Just because.
That's kind of cool, actually.
I'll shoot you with money.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm heading to bed. Night, guys.
You know.
User disconnected from your channel.
Wait, Koniving, didn't you say autocannons fired burst of rounds?
And Mechwarrior 3, yeah.
What did the Gauss do?
That was a single shot. That's a sniper rifle. It also couldn't do a damn thing to you at 60 meters.
Hasn't it had a minimum range?
Yeah, it's supposed to. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I admit, but it's supposed to.
Except in this game, it does not.
Exactly.
Was
Now,
it
I
over
think
the
part of
level-
it is it wouldn't reach an actual acceleration until after it left the chamber. But, well, whatever.
It really doesn't make sense anyway.
Most of the shit on this game doesn't.
In my opinion, for
It's supposed to
balancing,
be fun, not make sense.
it fails
Well,
at
it
both.
fails at that.
Yeah. I was thinking